Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Vaughn from RV Basic Training, and I'm here to talk today about what is typically overlooked after we get done doing the pre-trip inspection outside. I call it the pre-flight inspection on the inside. And there are several areas in the RV that need to be gone over to make sure all the items that may cause us difficulty, noise, or damage along the way are actually cared for in advance. So up here in the cab of my Class A Integra, a couple things I look at right away are I want to load all of the instructions for the route into my GPS in advance and have a spare paper map sitting to the side or a printout with satellite images before I pull out. Secondly, I'm going to enable my dash cam up here on the windshield to actually turn on record mode, and it's simply by unplugging it and plugging it back in again, and it flicks over to record mode, so I've got protection along the way. Thirdly, I want to make sure all my coach seats up here on the front of the coach are actually reclined fully, so when the slides come in, they don't actually impact the seats, bend, or hurt the slides. Fourth, I want to take a look at removing any items down in the slide areas, so when the slides are brought in, there isn't any damage to the slides or those items such as shoes or coats or etc. And then fifth, over here on the dash, I'll make sure to plug in my TPMS system, which is made by TST. It does a lot of good if actually the plug is sitting out. So I make sure it's plugged in and I'm getting readouts up here. And I let it cycle through at least one iteration of all the tires to make sure everything is up to snuff before I pull out. Skipping on back here to the next section of the coach, which is the dining room kitchen area. First of all, I want to go over and make sure all of my shades are in the full upright position before I pull out. I don't want to have the slides, the shades either causing damage to it, the windowsill, or ticking along the way. I want to check that all the cabinet doors up here are fully closed. So I touch every single one, including the drawers down here, to make sure the drawers are closed. And then remove all the loose items off the countertop. This toaster here wouldn't do well if I stopped and it would slide off, as well as some things I have over here around the kitchen area. So make sure everything is off the kitchen sink. A lot of things I put right in the sink itself before I pull out. And then cover all of my cabinet drawer handles that might slide out with a piece of foam. So I've taken these pool noodles and I've slid them down the side. I put those over all of my handles, which may slide out throughout the trip, into the leather on the opposite side of the kitchen. Number 5, make sure the dishwasher cycle is done and it's off. So I tap on my dishwasher, take a look inside. There are no lights on here indicating we're mid-cycle. I close it and it will automatically lock then for the trip and not slide out. I make sure all the house lights are off in the kitchen except for the ceiling light, which then I can look at in my forward dash mirror down there you see on the front window. That way if I hear noises while I'm driving, I look in that mirror, look back in the kitchen and see if it's something like a cabinet door that's opened, or maybe even the refrigerator door, if I had locked it correctly. Then on the dining room table, this table actually pulls out, and it's got a lock on it to make sure it doesn't slide out when I turn a corner. So I make sure the lock is actually latched. I want to remove the plate rack and cover from the microwave. So up here in the microwave, I'd open this up, I'd remove the glass plate from the bottom, the rack, and the cover, all three, and put those in the bedroom. I've had 2 situations so far where this door is swung open while en route. The glass plate has fallen out on the floor and shattered into a gazillion pieces, actually going under the slides, which has made it real tough to clean up. Secure all the items in the refrigerator. So I'll open the refrigerator, make sure I've got no loose or empty or partial filled items in the refrigerator. I'll close those, and then I'll latch both the lock on the refrigerator and the freezer down below so those doors don't open up while I'm driving. Ensure the kitchen fan vent is off. So up here on the kitchen ceiling, I've got covers that go in above, fit in the fan areas. So I make sure those fans are closed, the lid's closed on the top, and then these inserts are put in, which then keep the heat or the cold out of the coach while I'm driving. Number 11 here is, 12 is, make sure my laptop is secure. So I work on my table over here with my laptop. So during the course of driving, I'll pull it off and put it in one of my seats over here so that nothing, including my laptop, slides off on the floor. Usually I will invert it upside down so that I can keep it running in case I need to reference it for some reason, so the fan actually vents upward. Now over here on the stove or the countertop, I've got my coffee pot. Right now it's loose. When I'm en route though, I actually tuck it over here in my spray area, and I use this giant wire tie to secure the coffee pot to the spout while I'm underway. So it can sit on the countertop, it can usually dry out after I've used it, and it won't fall off the countertop at all. And then I have two parrots, which are my pets. This is my pet Zelda up here, and she's got a PVC perch in a bowl that I've created. So I make sure to take that down and store it in the back bedroom before I drive and close the slides in so it doesn't get crushed. And finally, I make sure all the windows are closed. I do have one troublesome window right over here that frequently will rattle open or rattle loose, so make sure those windows are tight, because if a window comes loose while I'm en route and swings out, the wind could take it off the coach and break it. Let's head on back into the hallway of the coach back here. So back here in the hallway, I have these swinging doors here for the bunk beds, which are actually the parrot's room. So I have actually some bands here I latch those doors open with while I'm en route, and then I put these towels and this foam up here on top of the door to keep those doors from rattling while I'm driving. Very annoying. Skipping back into the bathroom again, up here on the ceiling of the bathroom, I have the same roof vent up here, making sure the vent is closed and the insert is in. I make sure the bathroom window is closed very tightly over here. On my shower door, I make sure the shower door lock is latched so the door doesn't slide back and forth while I drive. And then I take all of my shower supplies, my conditioner, my shampoo, I put those down on the floor on my rug so those aren't falling while I'm driving. And then over here on the counter, making sure all the cabinet doors and the drawers down here are fully closed. And a big one is, make sure the toilet seat is down. That doesn't fall and make a loud noise while I'm driving. Okay, coming back to the bedroom then. The bedroom, I've got two windows on each side of the bed. I make sure those blinds are fully up, as well as the other one on the opposite side of the room. I'll raise those blinds up so they're not rattling while I'm driving. I clean off the vanity countertop over here. I take these pool noodles again and put those on all the handles, which could slide out and hit the bed. I make sure all of my cabinets are fully closed. All the drawers are fully closed before I pull out, as well as these up here. Down here on the floor, I've got a floor space rug. Before the slide can come in, I've got to pull that space rug up and tuck that away neatly on the vanity over here so it doesn't tangle up in the slide outs when they come in. And again, I'm checking over here to make sure in the slide out area, I have nothing in this area here which are going to get tangled up in the slide outs. And typically on this side over here, I've got a USB cable plugged in for my phone during the night. I'll take that cord out, put it up on the bed so as not to have that get caught up in the slide outs coming in. Now, in my coach, I have 3 sliding doors, which are these guys right here. So I make sure those doors are fully in and all the way back in the lock position so they're not making noise while I'm driving. I have one here in the other side of the bedroom, and I also have one in the bathroom, and all 3 have to be fully displaced back in the wall so those don't come loose and open or close while I'm driving. Coming on back here in the master bedroom in the very back, a couple things I'll point out. So on the countertop, again, make sure the countertop is fully cleared off. I usually take the soap and put it right in the sink as well. I make sure all of the vanity doors and drawers down here are all closed before I pull out. On the washer and dryer behind me, I make sure the dryer door is closed, the washer door is closed down here. I slide the door off, I slide the door closed, covering it. Then I take some foam inserts I've created right here, and I insert those in the area between the wall and the door to keep those from rattling or opening inadvertently while I'm underway. And the same over here for my closet door. I put a foam insert in to keep the doors closed and keep them from rattling as well. And again, my second toilet, make sure the toilet seat is closed. My actual window blind is all the way up, and make sure the window is fully closed. And last up here above is my last ceiling vent, making sure the vent is closed and my insert is in place while I'm underway. Now, all these things that I've talked about, if you don't make sure they're in place, something bad can happen. Something can get damaged. So I make sure that that routine is followed up through every time I leave to go on to my next destination. I hope this helps you out. I really suggest making a laminated copy of this pre-flight checklist. You can do one for inside and one for outside. That's just my inside checklist. Thanks again for watching. This is Kevin Vaughn. Until next time, bye-bye.